السلام عليكم.
Peace and blessings of God be upon you, Your Excellency President Chaba Karachi. We would like to extend to you and your friendly country, the Republic of Hungary, our heartfelt congratulations on your election as President of the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly. We would like to reassure you and all member states that we will work to ensure the successful deliberations and conclusions of the work of this session. We also appreciate the effort of your predecessor. It would be a remiss not to extend our thanks and appreciation to His Excellency the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Antonio Guterres, for his tireless effort in leading this organization and advancing its noble causes while developing its working methods to enhance its effectiveness and adapt to the current needs. The Sultanate of Oman would continue its support for his efforts aimed at achieving justice and peace all over the world. Mr. President, the Sultanate of Oman pursues a well-established policy based on a deep and steadfast vision as well as a legacy drawn from its cultural heritage and experience. Therefore, it affirms the fundamentals of its foreign policy in siding with truth and justice, strengthening positive cooperation and bonds of friendship, and contributing to the consolidation of international peace and security. The Sultanate of Oman is convinced that establishing and maintaining peace in the world is necessary for the interest of all peoples. This can only be preserved if it's based on firm principles of justice and solid foundations of cooperation and harmony among all nations. We call upon the international community to be tangibly guided by these references and build partnerships between countries in accordance with the tenets of international law and customary legal practices in order to achieve peaceful coexistence and enhance cooperation and economic prosperity for all. Mr. President, my country continues to spare no effort through constructive cooperation with all parties to achieve peace in the brotherly Yemen. While the Sultanate of Oman welcomes the extensions of the truce, it appeals to all Yemeni parties to come to terms with the painful past and focus on formulating a promising and a better future for their country that would preserve their unity, security, and stability. This would come on the basis of the mutually agreed terms of references, including the Gulf Cooperation Initiative, the outcome of the intra-Yemeni dialogue, and the relevant United Nations resolutions. In this context, the Sultanate of Oman will continue supporting the efforts of the United Nations Special Envoy to Yemen, Mr. Hanks Gronberg, as well as the United States of America's Envoy for Yemen, Tim Lander King. We appreciate their endeavors to achieve lasting peace in Yemen through dialogue. We also call on all Yemeni parties to engage in meaningful and serious manner to formulate the roadmap agreed upon by the Yemeni brothers, as well as a political process that will safeguard the sovereignty, independence, security, and stability of Yemen. My country affirms that it will continue to provide all possible facilities and humanitarian assistance to the various Yemeni regions and governorates without exception, hoping for a continued international action that would end the suffering of the brotherly people of Yemen. Mr. President, settling the Palestinian question remains an essential pillar to ensure stability in the Middle East. This conflict has generated many crises, tensions, and violence. Thus, we believe that the two-state solution, in accordance with international resolutions and the Arab Peace Initiative, is an urgent need and a strategic necessity to achieve lasting peace, mutual trust, and positive cooperation among all parties in the region. We also take interest in the unfolding developments in Libya, Syria, and Sudan. We hope for resolutions of the differences through consensus between the concerned political components and consolidating the concept of a shared destiny to achieve security and stability for these brotherly countries. We call upon the international community to redouble its diplomatic effort to support peace and stability so as to resolve the Russian-Ukrainian crisis through dialogue and negotiation, for these are the most successful means of resolving differences in accordance with the principles of international law and common human values. Mr. President, my country looks forward to an active participation in the 27th session of the Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP27, which will be held next November in Sharm el-Sheikh. We wish the brotherly Arab Republic of Egypt success in hosting this conference. Climate change is one of the most prominent issues of our time. And we are now facing a decisive moment. The world is in a real and difficult situation, a challenge that has wide-ranging effects, be it the rising temperatures or catastrophic floods, which are all threatening the food security of many countries. Adapting to this new condition will be more difficult and costly if the world did not unite to address it in a radical and integrated manner. In this regard, the Sultanate of Oman has developed a national strategy to protect the environment and address climate change. This comes in partnership with the local community, civil society institutions, and the private sector, under the umbrella of the National Committee for Climate Change and the Protection of the Ozone Layer, which consists of 31 government agencies. Adaptation plans of the committee are implemented to mitigate the effects of climate fluctuations and to contribute in reducing carbon emissions by 7% by the year 2030, in accordance with the United Nations Climate Agreement. We're thus moving towards achieving zero neutrality, free of greenhouse gas emissions. My country is set on accelerating the procedures for regulating the green hydrogen sector and encouraging investment in that sector in response to global transformations towards reducing carbon emissions and achieving the world's aspirations for new and multi-use energy sources. In view of the importance of strengthening this sector, my country has established a national alliance for hydrogen, relying on our national capabilities with abundance of solar and wind energy resources, in addition to the suitable land for the establishment of such projects. We also have ports system and logistical support that would provide assistance to such projects based on the Sultanate of Oman's favorable geographical location on the map of clean energy development and production in the world. Your Excellency, Mr. President, my country derives the principles of equality, justice, and non-discrimination among the different segments of the society from the state statute of the Sultanate. Hence, the Omani women contribute, alongside men, with their diverse political, social, economic, and cultural views to build our modern state and promote cooperation and harmony among all. Women are key partners in development and an integral component of society. Thus, we are proud of what has been achieved in the advancement of women and her valuable contribution in the national field of action and social responsibility. Youth equally play a great role in embodying promising hopes and a bright future for comprehensive development. My country has provided different incentives and opportunities that are characterized by fairness, transparency, and equal opportunities for all. Mr. President, it is undoubtedly crystal clear that the successive crises and existing conflicts have all created challenges for the United Nations system. Therefore, we call upon the international community to rebuild through genuine and realistic partnerships. By uniting ranks and forgiving obstructive lapses, while moving forward with a positive vision for a more promising future for all mankind. In conclusion, we would like to wish you all peace, and we wish this session every success so that we can achieve the hopes and aspirations of our world. We also wish that you would enjoy the